Let's get right into it. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are taking a really fascinating look under the hood at the actual mechanics of modern wealth creation. We're going to completely dismantle that old, exhausting time for money trap and unpack exactly how self-made millionaires, business strategists, and top financial educators actually view the world. And just to be clear right up front, this isn't about some get-rich-quick scheme. It is about a fundamental, ground-up shift in how you operate and think about money.
Okay, let's dive into this and address the absolute elephant in the room. Society constantly tells us that grinding out incredibly long hours is the one and only path to financial success, right? We've all heard it. But think about it. If pure sweat equity alone guaranteed wealth, the world's billionaires would all be lumberjacks and construction workers. The reality is, just working harder rarely creates true wealth. It's time we finally shatter that preconception.
So, here is our game plan for today. We'll start off by debunking that hard work myth. Then, we'll look at how millionaires think differently, explore the power of leverage, move right into building digital income streams, and finally, we'll wrap the whole thing up with a concrete blueprint for success.
Starting with Section 1, the hard work myth. Why pure sweat just isn't enough anymore.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core divide. On one side, you have the traditional employee or freelancer. You are directly trading your time for money. Literally, if you stop working, the money stops flowing. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. But on the flip side, business owners and investors operate on a completely different plane of reality. They don't just work hard, they work smart. They do this by building systems, effectively decoupling their earnings from the actual hours they personally clock in.
Moving on to Section 2, how millionaires think differently. Let's look at the psychology of the wealthy. Average earners often fall into the trap of seeking instant gratification. When it comes to financial planning, their highest goal is usually just hoarding money in a basic bank account. Millionaires, however, have entirely mastered the psychology of delayed gratification. They are perfectly willing to sacrifice short-term comfort for massive long-term gain. And crucially, they don't just sit on their savings, they actively put that money to work through investing.
Because the true essence of modern wealth is really this. It's not a lottery ticket. It is a direct byproduct of identifying and solving valuable problems for other people. Basically, the bigger the headache you cure for someone else, the more wealth you generate. You do this by developing high-income skills. It requires completely shifting your mindset from how can I make a quick buck to what valuable problem can I absolutely solve right now.
Which brings us to Section 3, the power of leverage. Basically, doing a whole lot more with a whole lot less.
So what is leverage? It's essentially utilizing money, other people's labor, technology, AI, software, and media to completely multiply your output and build scalable systems. Leverage is the ultimate tool for working smart, because without it, well, your income is forever capped by the 24 hours we all share in a day.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the game is totally shifted. Historically, the only ways to gain real leverage were through capital, investing massive amounts of money, or labor, like hiring a huge team of people. Both of those required you to basically already be rich. But today, technology and media have completely leveled the playing field. Artificial intelligence, automation, YouTube, blogs, and software, these are the newest, most scalable, and literally most accessible forms of leverage available to absolutely anyone with an internet connection.
And when you apply that leverage to your money, you unlock the sheer mathematical power of compound growth. To put that into perspective, simply saving your cash results in this slow, linear crawl. It barely keeps up with inflation, but exponential compound growth through investing, that means your money makes money. And then that new money makes even more money. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, wealth just constantly accelerating itself.
Now, average earners are usually terrified of risk. They try to avoid it entirely, which ironically pretty much guarantees they won't build serious wealth. Highly successful entrepreneurs like Warren Buffett or Elon Musk make decisions very differently. They don't run from risk, they manage it. They deeply understand the crucial difference between taking a thoroughly researched, calculated risk and just reckless gambling.
Let's move into Section 4, building digital income streams. This is where we talk about scalable modern wealth.
In the digital age, building a personal brand is just paramount. By leveraging platforms like YouTube or TikTok, starting an online business, or mastering AI tools, you are creating digital assets. And the beauty of this is that these assets work for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They generate multiple streams of highly scalable income without requiring a massive upfront financial investment. It's a real game changer.
But of course, just having the tools isn't quite enough. In a digital landscape that changes literally overnight, continuous learning and adaptation are absolutely non-negotiable. You have to constantly upgrade your high-income skills, build your network, and honestly, just stay ahead of the curve. This relentless pursuit of knowledge is what allows you to spot massive opportunities way before the rest of the market even wakes up to them.
Finally, Section 5, the blueprint for success. Let's ground this in a realistic roadmap.
So here is a very high-level, step-by-step 5-year plan to become a millionaire, even if you're starting from absolutely scratch. Step 1. Acquire high-income skills so you become incredibly valuable to the marketplace. Step 2. Use those exact skills to build digital assets, like content or software. Step 3. Apply automation and leverage to scale those assets up without trading more of your own time. And then Step 4. Take those profits and invest them to capture that exponential compound growth we talked about earlier.
But 5 years can feel like a lifetime, right? So to make that vision truly actionable, we need to break it down into a 90-day sprint to create a sense of immediate urgency. Month 1 should be entirely dedicated to skill acquisition and building your network. Month 2 is for setting up your systems and laying the groundwork for your personal brand online. And month 3 is when you actually launch those digital assets and begin automating your new income streams. Yes, it requires patience and intense discipline, but this 90-day sprint builds your entire foundation.
So the crucial point is, to execute that 90-day sprint, you absolutely need a Millionaire's daily routine. Wake up with pure intention. Attack your high-leverage tasks first thing, the things that actually move the needle. You have to ruthlessly limit time-wasting distractions, purposefully dedicate time to continuous learning, and regularly review your progress. Adopting this strict level of time management is exactly what ensures you stay firmly on track.
So we've covered the myths, the mindset shift, the power of leverage, and the actual roadmap. You now understand how to work smart, not just hard. You have the blueprint, the digital tools, and the leverage right at your fingertips. The only thing left to decide is, what valuable problem will you solve tomorrow? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you all next time.